Okay, so welcome to another entry in Hey Ed's personal blog. Today I'm going to be talking about how I rode a wild moose in the Canadian wilderness. So in 1978, I went on an expedition through Canada in a 26-foot North canoe with 8 other guys. So there were 9 of us in a very large 26-foot North canoe. Now that canoe was a replica of the kind of canoe that the French Canadian fur traders used back in the 18th century. And so we were going to retrace one of the routes that took us all the way through the boundary waters of Minnesota and up through Canada. Let me see if I can pull up a map here for you. So I've got my cursor, so try to follow along here. So you see here in Canada, we started here and we went all the way through the boundary waters, up through Rainy Lake, and then we started heading north. We traveled on Lake Winnipeg for a while, went to Kenora, and then we took a right turn and headed this way. Okay, now our objective was to get right under Fort Severn here on Hudson Bay. Now Hudson Bay comes off of the Arctic Circle, right? See all that? And James Bay down here looks like the shape of Florida. Okay, we came out right here, right above the Polar Bear Provincial Park. And then we paddled on Hudson Bay, which is basically the ocean, okay? And around this bend here and all the way down to Moosonee. This is where we were heading, and this is where we would cheat and catch a train. I want to say it's called the Polar Bear Express, but that can't be right because, I don't know, copyright issues. So we caught a train at Moosonee, and then we caught Moosonee down to Thunder Bay and took that all the way home. Okay, so this expedition took 76 days and was 1,300 miles. And it was the summer between my junior and senior years of high school. Now I don't know about you guys, but there aren't many things that I've had for 40 years. But here, let me show you something. See this? This is one of the paddles from that expedition. This is the bow paddle, so it's extra long. So it's almost 6 feet long. So this, I have had this paddle for 43 years. All right, and I will always have it. I will never lose that paddle, no matter how many times I move. I will, because that's a legacy there. Another thing that I've had for 43 years is this coffee mug. I got that as a graduation gift for high school, and I still have it. Still works. Now, do you guys have any of these? I found out, okay, so a ton of my Italy pictures and all of my expedition pictures are on these suckers. So, and there's some really good pictures in here. So I'm going to have to get those, converted somehow so I can show you. So there's some fantastic pictures in here. Anyway, got off topic there. So the moose. Now, when we were traveling, we had a map, but this is all out wilderness, okay? No signs, nobody else around for literally hundreds of miles. And we were basically just pointing ourselves in the direction of Hudson Bay. And a lot of times, there weren't any rivers or streams that it showed on the map, because they, rivers go up and down, right? So we had to portage a lot, carrying that big canoe and our gear. Anyway, so one day we were on a lake, and somebody sees a moose, and somebody in the back says, it was swimming in the lake, and somebody says, "Who wants to ride the moose?" And I said, "I do." So we started paddling to catch up with the moose. They're pretty fast swimmers. So we paddled and paddled and paddled. I got close to him, and just when I got close enough, I jumped off the canoe onto the moose, and the moose, went underwater a little bit because now he had a guy, and he was not happy. And I was down him for a good 5 or 6 seconds. I was holding on to the fur, really rough fur, by the way, not good for coats. Then finally, he came. He did this with his head, with his antlers, and knocked me off. I mean, hit me in the chest. I swear, I thought. I mean, it was hard. Thank God he didn't hit me in the head. I just got really lucky there. Hit me in the chest. I got out the water. My friends dragged me out of the water. I was sore in my chest for days after that. But I did ride a moose. Okay, so a lot of crazy things like that happened on that trip, but I don't want to spend all day telling you my stories about the expedition. One of the best experiences of my life. I will never do it again. But we did a lot of crazy things. I mean, I swam in the Arctic Ocean, because basically the Arctic Ocean, I mean, one of these days I'm going to have to tell you about how we were chased by a polar bear, on James Bay, which is the ocean, okay? That's a story for another time. So that is my story. Hope I didn't go too long. Okay, so in my next video, I'm going to be talking about how I led a trip to Harvard. Very interesting story. And that'll be in the next vlog. Edward Anderson saying goodbye for now.